This tutorial will give you a better idea of how to create SMART financial goals and how to identify if there's a missing component to a goal that you've written. So first of all, a SMART goal contains these components. It's very specific, which states exactly what you're going to be doing with the money that you're saving. It's measurable, so you have the exact dollar amount within the goal, so you know when you've accomplished that. If you don't have the total amount listed, you don't know when that will be accomplished. The goal should also be attainable, meaning that you provide specific detail of how you're actually going to reach the goal. It should be realistic, so you should be able to accomplish that within the time frame that you've set, and time bound, so explaining exactly when you're going to reach this goal. So those are the 5 components of a SMART goal. Here's an example of creating a SMART goal. So here's not a SMART goal. I want to buy a new car. So first of all, this is not very specific. What kind of car, what about the car, how much money, we don't really have a lot of detail. So making it more specific, I plan to save for a down payment on a new car. So not necessarily the whole car, but on a down payment. Measurable. Okay, so far we don't have an amount, so I plan to save $5,000 for a down payment on a new car. Will make the goals measurable. Attainable will add how we are actually going to do that. So I plan to save $5,000 for a down payment on a new car by saving $200 from every paycheck. So this is the attainable piece right here. Realistic. So is it realistic to save $200 from each paycheck for a down payment on a car? That depends on how much money you make. In this case, it could be realistic depending on what your paycheck looks like and how good you are at saving. But for a high school student, that might be a little bit much. Time bound, so we need to know when you're going to save this by in order to know if you've accomplished your goal. So I plan to save $5,000 for a down payment on a new car by saving $200 from each paycheck for 2 years. So that goal is a lot more specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound compared to our original goal of I want to buy a new car. Here's an example of finding a missing element. So here's our goal. I plan to save $5,000 for college living expenses in 4 years. So we need to figure out what is missing from this goal. So what are we saving for? We're saving for college living expenses. So that's specific. Measurable, where we need to save $5,000. We want to see if this is realistic. Kind of hard to tell because we don't know exactly how much money you make, but also we don't know how you're going to do it. So I would say it's definitely missing attainable because it's not laid out exactly how we're going to save $5,000. Are you going to save a certain amount from every paycheck? Are you going to save your allowance? How are you going to accomplish that? And then it is time bound in 4 years. Okay, so I would say attainable and possibly being realistic as well. Alright, here's another example. I plan to save for a new computer by saving $150 each month for 1 year. So we want to save for a new computer. That's a specific piece. We would like to save $150 each month. That's the attainable piece. 1 year, that's time bound. Seems like it could be realistic if you have income to save money, $150 each month. But what we really don't know is if how much this new computer will cost. So it's not measurable. We don't know how much we actually need to save. So that would be a measurable missing element. Let's do one more. I plan to save $2,500 by saving $105 each month for 2 years. So if we're kind of running through our elements here, I'm not exactly sure why or what I'm saving for. So I definitely think we're missing the specific. I have $2,500 total, so that's my measurable piece. I'm going to save $105 each month. That's my attainable piece. For 2 years, that's my timely piece. And realistic, is it am I going to be able to save $105 each month, in total $2,500 in 2 years? So I think that would work. And there's our missing element, which is specific. So as you can see, when you're trying to create a SMART goal, you need to go through and ask yourself if it has all these things. Is it specific? Do I know exactly what I'm saving for? Measurable, in total, how much do I need to save? Attainable, how am I going to do that? How am I going to actually save that amount of money? Realistic, is this doable with the amount of money I make or how I save or what I have available? And time out. So I need to have an end date. So I need to know within 1 year or 2 months or 5 years that I can check and see if I've actually accomplished this goal. All right, thank you for watching this tutorial on SMART goals, and I hope this helps you to write some really great SMART goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound.